Hey everybody, World War Guy here today, and today we are doing another book review. Now this is not usually what you would see on my channel. As you can see, Liberty or Death, Latin American Conflicts from 1900 to 1970 by Philip Jowett. Most of my content on YouTube is going to be European or American, so this is quite a difference. But I will quickly say that I really recommend this book. I really do, especially if you're trying to learn more about Latin America and its history, especially in the early to mid 20th century. Now, this book was written by Philip Jowett and it was published by Osprey in 2019, so it is a relatively new book. Now, this book, as you may guess from the title, talks about different Latin American conflicts from 1900 to 1970. And when I say different conflicts, I mean a bunch of different conflicts. So here are the chapters for the book. And as you can see, we have different things. We have 20 years of conflict, so it's just multiple different conflicts from a 20-year period. Then after that, there are chapters that focus specifically on certain conflicts, such as the Mexican Revolution, both Mexican revolutions. Then we have, conflicts in Brazil. We have U.S. Intervention in Latin America. We have the Chaco War, war in the Amazon. And then the other chapters, as we can see, with the 20-year conflicts of the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Those chapters are going to be a bit more broad and have one page, maybe just a paragraph of a certain conflict. Now, this book is about 355 pages long, so it's a good sized book. As we can see on the inside, you do have pictures on the inside the book, which is great because you can see the evolution of uniforms. It's nice to see these photos of these conflicts that we rarely see. And of course, it has small conflicts such as the Coto War, where Costa Rica and Panama fought over a small piece of land. And when I say this was a small conflict, I think there were no more than 1,000 men on each side fighting. So it was a very short, not short, but it was a very small clash of men. And as you can see, they also have 2-page photos to just give you a blown-up version. You can really see everything in detail. So it's really cool. This is not a book of pictures, but there are plenty of pictures to look at. And it's really cool to see the different equipment, uniforms, and so on that these people would use, that these soldiers would use, basically. Now, as I said, this book is about 355 pages, and we're covering a 70-year period. Now, for some people, that may seem like a good amount of pages for these conflicts, but the issue is that South America was riddled with conflict. Each country had probably some sort of revolution, border war, civil war every 10 years, it seems like. And I'm not saying that in exaggeration, because this book touches on many of these conflicts. Not all of them, because there's so many more. I don't know how many conflicts there were because I wasn't keeping count, and there was just so many. Like I said, some conflicts would only be covered with one paragraph. Some that would be one page, while some had their own chapter of up to 20 or 30 pages. But it wouldn't surprise me if there was about 100 conflicts in total mentioned in this book out of 350 pages. Maybe less than 100, but still a lot of conflicts. So one thing to know before you buy this book is this is an overview of these conflicts. If you're looking for very detailed analysis of the Chaco War, for example, you will not get that in this book. So I think this book is a great starter book if you're interested in Latin America and its history and the many different conflicts that arise. Such as myself, I don't know much of Latin America and its military history. And with this book, I learned a lot more. Do I know everything in detail? No, but I feel confident that I understand a bit better the whole situation in Latin America. For example, I was reading the Chaco War, which was the border dispute between Bolivia and Paraguay for the Chaco Desert. And I just knew a little bit because my girlfriend was telling me about it. She's from Bolivia. But that's really all I knew, is the one or two things she would tell me. So by reading this, I learned more, and it was more interesting, and of course now I want to learn more about it. So I think by reading this, there would be definitely some conflicts you will gain more interest in and you'll want to learn more about, which is a great stepping stone if you're trying to get into this part of history. Now, when I purchased this, it was actually at a half-price books. I don't know if this is a countrywide store, but it's basically a store where they sell books for cheap, usually used books. Otherwise brand new. It appears that it sold for $40. As of today, I don't know if that $40 still stands, but I'm sure you can find it in some stores or online for a bit cheaper. But $40 is still a relatively good price considering that some books go for a lot more money. So all in all, this is kind of a long video, but I really recommend this book if you are interested in Latin American military history. You have plenty of great photos. You have a lot of different conflicts. Some conflicts I didn't even knew existed, that I knew even happened. And one thing that I want to say before going is Latin America does not like corrupt politicians. I remember I think it was Guatemala, they had a president for one day, didn't like them, so they kicked him out. You know, there were conflicts where the country didn't want to wait for the elections, so they started a revolution or an overthrow. As terrible as that is, because that just means more people are losing their lives, it is very interesting to see how these conflicts were resolved through this 70-year period. Now, of course, I've been rambling a lot. I think you guys get the message. I highly recommend this book for anyone new to Latin American history. So if you're interested, check it out. It's really worth the money, I believe. Also, the read is a good read. It's not too difficult to understand the words, not using some big boy words. And then you also have a good amount of pictures to look at. But with that being said, I hope you guys found this video interesting. Hopefully it inspires some of you to purchase this. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, write a comment, share, and subscribe. But besides that, you guys have a great day.